Hey guys, good evening, Creator Mom. Um, I wanted to just do another little update about this house situation. So, um, I had a couple more messages with the realtor, and he's like, well, in fact, they actually do need me to sign some papers, and they need me to sign the deed, although my name is not on this property because it was purchased prior to the marriage. It's funny because it was his marital home from his previous marriage. They actually purchased it together, and guess what? She didn't get anything from it. She didn't get the house, nothing. So anyhow, so they need my signature, right? So the deal is, he's like, all right, well, basically, I'll help you get your stuff by coordinating, by having him gather your things, basically make a list of all the things that you need. It says in the video, he'll gather them, and then we'll meet with the sheriff and you can get your things. But I need you to sign these documents too. But then I'm like, okay, well, right, I'm not gonna sign anything until I retrieve our items, you know. So obviously, right? Because knowing him, if I sign something, he won't give me my things. He won't fucking bother. So, you know, I said, well, what about any portion that would belong to me, such as equity, you know, a portion of equity. This is what the lawyer that I had told me. He said, oh, you might be able to get some equity on the house, you know. But unfortunately, this lawyer he's ghosted me, so as of right now. So, but the realtor is obviously like, oh no, you don't get anything. All the proceeds will go to him. And in my mind, I was thinking we owed more on this house. I don't know what my mind was thinking, but I actually had some old USDA mortgage bills that I had. And the number was way lower. So basically, he's selling this house for $198,000. But the last bill I had is from August 2022, and he not the type of guy that makes firm, big payments on the house. We were always behind, always. And we had moratoriums a couple of times, and if you're on a moratorium for mortgage, when you get back to paying, you're gonna pay higher, you know. So anyways, yeah. So there was only like 133,000, like if I rounded, I would round up to $134,000 was left on that mortgage. That was in August of 2022. So, and he's selling the house for $198,000. And so, yeah. So he's getting some money from that, you know? And I don't know how much, you know, the realtor guy is gonna charge and all this other jazz. But I'm thinking, well, shouldn't I get a portion of this equity? You know, oh, the lawyer said that it would be the portion of the value of the home, something like that, something about having to do with the value of the home from the time, the duration of the marriage. They calculate it very specifically. Or what the home was deemed as value during that time minus what is owed on the mortgage, something like that. I was reading briefly online. So I'm kind of like going back and forth in my head now, like, okay, am I really entitled to anything? What am I entitled to? Obviously, it would be cool if I had an attorney's help, but it's just like, who has thousands of dollars to throw down? I don't know. I guess if I was going to get, you know, if I was going to throw down a couple $1,000s and get $20,000 out of it, you know, I guess that would be worth it, but who knows? I'm starting to The smoke is going in my face. So it's like sometimes I feel like I have clarity on it, and then I get confused again. I'm like, oh, I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure if I'm truly entitled to a portion. But that's what the lawyer said. Something about the equity and the value of the house during the time we were married, There's got to be something. But then I'm like, a part of me is like, just get your things and just walk, just sign the papers, whatever he needs to sell the house. But then my dude is walking off with all that money. And, meanwhile, I'm getting quote unquote nothing or whatever. But that wouldn't be the end of the story, because after I get my things and such, I might start, like, he already started the divorce by he had a lawyer send me a divorce summons. The lawyer that I had at the time responded to the summons, and that's where everything just stopped. Because you got to keep progressing, and you got to give paperwork and shit, and he didn't give any paperwork to his lawyer, and that's where it all stopped. So now he's trying to sell this house without, prior to doing anything about the divorce, which might be, he's probably being tricky. He doesn't want to give me anything, obviously. So, and I'm not, so yeah, I think that I need to be sure if I'm truly entitled to something, then I will have more confidence in saying, hey, I am entitled to something as a matter of fact, and I'm not going to sign until we get this cleared up, So I need wisdom. I think I need wisdom in this situation a little bit, but in all honesty, what I really even wanted was just my stuff. So he has another property that was purchased while we were married. So I assume that will be, I could pursue that, or that could be taken care of during an actual divorce. I'm like, I might have to like refile all by myself. Or something like that. Like he already filed and my lawyer responded, but it's like there's nothing is happening. So it's just like I might have to like do something myself to get divorced from this dude. I just don't know. So that's where I'm at, and I'm just trying to keep a relaxed attitude about it, and read, whatever I can find on it. Anyways, if you all have been through anything similar and you kind of had any wisdom or advice, let me know. But and don't contact a lawyer. Like, that's kind of like obvious or whatever. So yeah, if you've been through it and you kind of have a little bit of wisdom personally, you can share down below.